the saying, it's not how you stand by your car, it's how you race your car.
Are you kidding me? This ain't the movies, bro. A lot of people stand by their car. Just like I'm sitting by this car, doing this interview. What are you trying to say? You trying to say something about me? Because I'm sitting here? I'm not standing. I'm definitely not racing the car. So what are you talking about? Yeah, I think we better move on. Let's get a roll on this thing.
Do you watch other YouTube channels?
I think we all do. Now, whether or not these bigger channels say they check out the smaller channels like mine or anyone else's, it's hard to say. Me, myself, I even find some of these bigger channels not as entertaining. So, to answer your question, yeah, I watch other people's YouTube channels.
What channels do you seem to be drawn towards?
Well, me, I've always been drawn to car channels, really. When I was younger, I would watch Motor Trend, Velocity, all that kind of stuff. Pretty much learned how to work and build on a car by watching the TV channels, and now that I have this thing to tinker on, I can watch YouTube videos and learn how to do it. And a lot of the stuff, I got a lot of my knowledge from TV, you know. I'm 35 years old and been watching those trucks and hot rod TV for 30 years.
What do you think it takes to build an actual drag car? Or let's specify that. What do you think it takes to build a fast 2-valve to go drag racing and get into the 10s?
What I think it takes to get one of these cars into the 10s, well, Andrew from Mustang Lifestyle, he's got a Mustang Bullet with a Gen 1 on-3 turbo kit. It's got UPR lowers and uppers, some Vikings in it, I'm pretty sure. A messed up transmission, and he's in the high 10s, I want to say. I'm pretty sure he's in the high 10s. So basically you need about 450 horsepower to 500 horsepower in one of these cars, maybe 400, and they got to be pretty light. I would say anywhere from 2,900 to 3,100 pounds.
Are you trying to build a drag car?
That's a hard question to answer. Really, to build a drag car is to basically destroy your car. If you're going to build a drag car, it's going to require chopping at some point, and you're always going to be chasing that number. So you're going to have to cut and weld on stuff eventually. With this car right here, the only thing that I've ever cut on would be my upper control arm bracket reinforcement, upper torque box reinforcements. You have to drill some holes and then you got to weld them in. That's the only cutting I've done on this car, and I'm trying not to do a whole lot of cutting on this car. But to answer your question, you have to be willing to sacrifice the car to make it a drag car.
Are you willing to sacrifice your car?
This car right here, I am not willing to sacrifice it. I do want to take it down the strip. I would like to be in the 9-second range. That's the goal for this car, is 9 seconds. But, you know, that's down the road. I'm going to try to do it where one day I can put this car completely back to stock if I want to. I've had the car since it was brand new. Don't really want to cut the car up. I'll find another car to cut up if I need to go faster than low 10s, high 9s. But this car right here is just going to basically be a street strip car. Probably put a little converter in it, nothing crazy. Just trying to get into the 9s, which is probably going to be about 700 to 800 horsepower is what I'm thinking.
What do you think about Blue 2-valve making its way back to YouTube?
Well, I watch Derek's videos now and then, and he seems to be pretty ambitious. He'll get a goal and then he'll kind of leave that on the back burner for a little while and he'll start something else. I think he just kind of goes with what's convenient, maybe, or what he can get parts for. And yeah, I seen that he's gonna try to build a 2-valve drag car, which pretty cool. There's not very many of them on YouTube. I would say there's maybe 4 or 5. There's one really fast 2-valve, Andrew Lavender. He's got the whole trick flow top end kit, Cobra crank. I think he has Wisco pistons. I think he had MMR rods for a while, but then he got some K1s. I forgot what rods he has now, but his car is probably an 8-second 2-valve. He's probably pushing 20 to 30 pounds of boost, if I had to guess. I think he runs about 24 to 27. 27's cranked up, I would say. But yeah, check out Andrew Lavender. He's definitely one that's built a 2-valve that's pretty fast. And I mean, he does suspension, torque, and everything else. And he's probably the one to kind of get some guidelines off if you're building one of these cars. As for Derek, we'll see. I mean, so, you know, I'm sure it'd be a lot faster for him to build a car than anyone else.
What all have you done to your car?
Well, so far this car is pretty much stock on the outside. It still has the original rims that it came with off the showroom floor, but it does have BMR on-car adjustable uppers, on-car adjustable lowers, Eibach sway bars, Strange Engineering single adjustable 10-way shocks and struts. It's got a UPR K member, UPR A arms, Viking coilover over top of the Strange struts, UPR caster camber plates, and so far I have the hot side of a, I would say, makeshift turbo kit built. It's basically a copy of the Gen 1 on 3 kit is what I got built for this car right here. Got the UPRK member to set myself up to buy the on 3 turbo kit later down the road. And as the car sits right now, I got to fine tune the suspension and buy the on 3 kit and fuel system, and then probably ready to run some 8s. I also have Manley crank, Manley rods, Manley pistons, every ARP bolt that you can buy for a 2-valve. I bought the more expensive hex, I think they're hexagon head studs instead of the, I think they're like $200 and $300 some dollars. I paid like almost $600 just for my head studs because I got the nicer ones. I watched Modular Head Shop. He said something that you didn't need those. Something about the washers. Go check out his video. He talks about head studs. I bought the best of the best. The problem with buying the best of the best is it slows you down. Instead of buying, you know, cheap Eagle rods and cheap forged pistons and the lower grade UPR bolts, slows you down a lot.
What other channels do you watch on YouTube?
Well, here lately, I watch all the normal ones. 3-Speed 717. I just kind of watch him because it's so ridiculous. I don't understand how he gives away a free car like every month. YouTube guys make that much money off these car videos. That's freaking awesome. He never really builds anything. He kind of just shows off like a lot of the YouTubers. And I watch Mustang Lifestyle. He actually builds things. That's why I enjoy his content, because you see there's a little bit of a struggle there, but he's kind of privileged through YouTube too. I don't know how he does it, but he seems like he actually has to work for some of this stuff, and maybe he has different morals than just getting stuff handed. I don't know. If I ever get big enough, shoot me all the parts you can. I'll try to stay as loyal to myself and everyone as possible, but I take all the help I can get to build one of these cars. I also watch, one of my favorite guys now to watch is Turbo John. I actually I really like that guy, Turbo John. I think he's my new favorite. I've binged watched all of his videos, and you can actually learn something from him, and he actually does changes to the car, and you get to watch his mistakes. I think that's kind of what Derek's DVP is going to try to do, kind of like John. And he's always making changes. I don't know. I'm not as experienced as him, so I can't say yet. But he even calls himself out. He's making too many changes at once. And he kind of just seems like kind of like me. He's got what he's got, and he tries to make it work. And he upgrades when he can, and he builds when he can. And I can relate to that. And that's why I like it. It doesn't seem like he gets a bunch of handouts. And he definitely goes out there and pounds that asphalt or pavement, whatever you want to say.
How long have you owned this Mustang?
Well, let's start off. It was my mom's. She gave it to me maybe 5 or 6 years ago, something like that. It's still a one-owner car. She bought it brand new at Gary Oman's when Gary Oman's was in a completely different spot. It was on International in Daytona, right down the street where the old U-Haul or the new U-Haul place is. That's where this car came from. It's a Daytona Beach car originally. Some of you may have seen the South Carolina tag. It went to South Carolina and blew up and sat there. Got a new motor put in and drove it back to Florida to our new house, our new property. And I've been building it here ever since. About 2 years ago, I started a YouTube channel. It was called Life in a Mustang, like in a Mustang. But I put first it was INA Mustang, and then it was NA Mustang, and then I was like, this car is not gonna stay NA, so it doesn't make any sense. And I'm trying to fabricate, but fabrication tools are expensive, so I named Dustin's Customs because I'm building a custom turbo kit, and once I get a TIG welder instead of a MIG welder, we'll kind of ramp up the custom things. And I wanted the diversity of my channel, being able to fix anything and not just Mustangs. It's hard to keep up with these things. Like right now, you know, just my forged internals that I bought for this car, they've been sitting, this bird is noisy, they've been sitting for about a year in my house. I keep them in my house, that way my rods, pistons, cranks, and bolts are all in air-conditioned climate control. I don't want them to rust because they're going inside the motor. So basically all I need, I was thinking about switching pistons to a different compression ratio. That's one of the reasons, because I need to, if I am going to switch, I need to save up another, you know, $1,300 for pistons. And I talked to Modular Head Shop, and he is on the fritz about building engines unless you bought the parts from him, or he really wants to build it. So he did send me to someone else to build the motor. The way things are going with this coronavirus, I'm not seeing this motor get built until next year, and every year I'm like, I'm getting the motor built. And what's crazy is I have the forged internals, and I literally just had the whole motor apart, but we'll get those forged internals in there pretty soon. But yeah, to answer your question, 2001 is when we bought the car.
How long do you think it's going to take to get the car built?
Well, if I had to guess, it's probably going to take at least another year. I have some other things I want to get built first, but I would say a year. Got to buy a fuel system, got to do the turbo, and then just buy some rims and tires and clean the car up, dial in the suspension. Like I said, I like watching Turbo John and watch his videos, and once I get the suspension dialed in, it'd be pretty cool to take it on a little street cruise. But then, yeah, I would say about a year to get it finished.
Have you watched Alejandro Flores?
I've watched his channel, Talking Shit. I love that show. I actually do watch that show, and it's crazy the amount of people that give him so much money. It's almost ridiculous. I mean, sometimes he gets $500 given to him at one time. That's pretty wild to me. I'm pretty shocked that people have that much money to hand out. Here I am struggling to build my car for 2 years, and he's got a personality and it does him good. I like that he says what he thinks, and he's probably one of the most knowledgeable guys out there. And I see a lot of other YouTubers trying to follow what he does, and it just doesn't work. You are who you are, your personality, your channel. I learned from the very beginning, just kind of try to be who you are and do what you do. If you're gonna film this stuff, just be normal. That's at first I try to be like everyone else, and it doesn't work out. Kind of like other people trying to do live streams and stuff. It just doesn't work out like it does for him. And I like what he does. And I wish I had a Coyote, because then half the stuff he talks about would actually mean something. It's too bad he doesn't tune 2 valves. Maybe I can talk him into it. One of them guys. Because I want this thing tuned right. It seems like they would do a good job.
If you were going to tell anybody that's going to start a YouTube channel, what would it be?
Don't try to be like everyone else. All these bigger YouTubers get free parts and they can build things a lot faster. Go at your own pace. Don't get discouraged if it takes you longer to build your car. And I've been building this car for 2 years and I got parts sitting. But sometimes it's discouraging. Just keep trucking, keep saving, keep pushing. That's what I tell you. Don't get discouraged. Don't watch all these other guys that can build something in a couple weeks. That's not reality. That's a bunch of people helping them. So, alright guys, this has been Dustin's Customs. I'm Dustin. Hope you enjoy this. It was a little different interview, but keep on building. Bye.